You're in the Business Insurance Zone with me, Steve Savant, syndicated financial columnist and contributing author to Backroom Technician. This week on The Biz, online marketing, and on today's show, social media networking with special co-host Jessica Lopez, all here on the Business Insurance Zone.
When it comes to life insurance, annuities, long-term care, disability, or group pension plans, we're the news you can use.
Well, welcome everyone to the Business Insurance Zone. I'm your host, Steve Savant, and of course we're broadcasting to a nationwide audience of financial advisors right here in Fountain Hills, Arizona, home of America's largest fountain, and I just can't believe I just said that, a nationwide audience. And it all has to do with everything we're talking this week, that you have a nationwide audience, right? It's unbelievable. And of course, to introduce my co-host all this week, Jessica Lopez. Welcome to the show, Jesse.
Hey there, Steve.
Well, Jessica, we talked about it yesterday. Again, if you missed the show, I want you to hop out to our site, www.thebiz.tv, and check out our shows so you can get an idea, because we're offering this. You know, we're doing a complete package of video, consumer video show, consumer video vignettes, tweets, blogs, and everything odd. Yes, we're going to be doing it all and giving it as a package. People say, what's the distinctive in your IMO? This is ours. I don't know of anybody that's online like we are, and especially doing HD 1080p in a 3-camera studio that we own. Wow, think about that. We're not outsourcing this. And that brings me to what we're talking about today. We're talking about high definition video. Now,
Yes.
I don't know about you. When did you start doing films of your children when they were growing up? Didn't you do kind of camera?
Oh yeah, when they were very small, toddlers. You had
VHS tape?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep. Now I actually found some. I'm in the middle of moving. I found some the other day that I have no idea what's on those tapes.
Yeah.
It's just amazing how things have changed.
And remember, you know, you can still get those transferred
Yeah.
into digital. And I even saw, when I moved a couple times back, I found some little 8mm of Steve Savant playing rock and roll in his high school
Oh
days.
man, I got to see those.
That hair was unreal. So I'm looking at basic ideas of video. But before we do that, you know, I mean, Jesse, there's nothing wrong with going through former technology. Back in the day, I mean, I remember when a fax machine hit my office.
Right.
And back in 1989, we thought that was the bomb. We
Right.
thought that was the edge. I don't even know, does anybody use fax machines?
Very rarely, and
Yeah.
it's pretty crazy, but things have changed even so
Oh.
much in the last 5 years. You know, there's some things that now we're starting to consider as, you know, old
Oh, yeah.
school advertising and
It
so
is.
forth. And we just, you know, after experience and going through and say, for instance, using GoToWebinar for a long time, consistently.
Forever.
You know, 5 times a month, you know, inviting individuals to train and so forth. The one thing that we found is that a lot of the same individuals come in and listen to those sessions, while those that are out there really producing have appointments set with those clients. They don't have time to attend.
Right.
So then we got into recording webinars. Well, then they're like, you know what, this is kind of boring.
Right.
You know, let's evolve into something bigger and better. And you know, that's what I kind of wanted you to touch on is, you know, where are we at these days with magazines
Well,
and email and.
As I said, I've been a published author for almost 22 of my 30-year career. I've been in all the major trade magazines in insurance that were, you know, worthwhile watching or reading. And I have to tell you, we're just not doing it anymore because the readership in those hardcover publications, especially if I was an advertiser, I just don't know if you're getting the bang for the buck anymore. And here's one of the big reasons why. A lot of people are inundated with print material. They read it, they look at it. They're looking for things that are high quality visuals. I don't know if they're looking for content. So your headline better be great, or your high resolution picture better be an eye-capturing idea. Because if it isn't there, I don't think it's going to get read. But here's the worst part. It has a terminal, and I mean short terminal life. You're talking 3 days and it's in the ash can. When you go out to the public on Vimeo and YouTube on video, we still get call-ins on shows we did 2 years ago that haven't lost their shelf life.
Right.
So magazines, they're expensive. Online is way easier, cheaper to distribute. You have to play the law of large numbers. That's why we're online. You're doing thousands and thousands of eyeballs every day on our show, trying to get down to the people who want to play with you. Now, think about this. Email blasts. I mean, 2% open if the copy is great. I mean, outstanding authorship. The writing is pithy. It's really cutting edge. Or go to video embedded email where the open rate is 43%.
Right.
See, there's just no difference anymore.
No, yeah, no comparison.
There's no comparison. Think about this. People are still doing direct mail. I still receive in my box, because I'm getting up there where, you know, Social Security is going to become an issue. They're sending me stuff on Social Security. Well, I'm so inundated with it, I don't know, hey, am I supposed to be looking at this?
Is it junk?
Should I look at this? I mean, everybody asks me in my neighborhood, hey, Steve, should I be looking at this stuff? And I said, listen, I'll contact you with a person that lives in that zone so that you can do it. But they're going through it. Print material, I don't know the last time I know of and I know the two I used to work with, which are the number 1 and 2 IMOs in the United States, that they actually send out print material to their agents.
Right.
I mean, I just don't think people are doing it. Now, I haven't tried this. I heard that texting, and I tried a few text blasts to our agents, but guess what? For the first time since texting started, texting in 2012 actually declined overall.
Interesting.
Now, that kind of caught me off guard. I saw that stat, and I'm going, how can that be? There's
I'm
1,000
thinking it has
teenage
to do-
kids out there.
Right.
Yeah,
I'm thinking that has to do with the fact that now that you have mobile phones, you can access your Facebook.
Oh, yeah.
You tweet from your phone. You can, basically do everything that you need online in your hand.
Right.
So, and I just know because I have 2 teenagers, and if they're grounded, I turn off the texting and I look at their phone. Oh, well, they went ahead and posted it on Facebook instead. So you got to turn it all off.
I mean, everybody's getting into Instagramming now. I mean, there's a whole nother theology.
Yep.
But listen, webinars, go-to-meetings, PowerPoint presentations, listen, they were great in the day. They were the edge. We used them all the time. But it's passé.
Right.
Everybody's going to HD 1080p video. If you're not out there already, you're already behind the curve. You got to learn how to be able to do what we're talking about so that you can reach your consumer public. And that's why we're offering our One for the Money show. That One for the Money show.tv, that program once a week, we with our producers that play with us and are willing to actually do a strategic alliance with us. We're actually giving them tweets, blogs, complete packaging of our show so that they can enter into an alliance with us to do everything we're doing now except for the consumer. I think that's the best part of what we're talking about is we're doing it to promote your practice. We come back from the break, we're going to continue our topic on social media networking with co-host Jessica Lopez. And don't forget to enroll at IULUniversity.com for the best training, education, and sales support when it comes to life insurance for retirement income.
You're listening to the insurance industry's #1 resource for products, planning ideas, carrier information, and interviews you can use. When it comes to life insurance, annuities, long-term care, disability, or group pension plans, we're the news you can use.
Did you know the average 401k runs out of money just 7 to 8 years into retirement? Time Magazine, the Wall Street Journal, and many other publications have warned of the difficulty of saving with a 401k. But what if there was a way to create tax-free lifetime retirement income with no stock market risk? Good news, there is.
Living in fear of the next market dive is not the way I want to live my life.
Why would I go out there and take on risk when I don't need to?
I have a lot less stress knowing I can't lose any more of my retirement savings in the stock market.
Call now to receive your free, no-obligation analysis of what this retirement vehicle could do for you, a comparison to your current retirement plan, and a free video that explains this exciting opportunity. Start planning a retirement you can enjoy instead of worrying about future tax increases and stock market losses. Creating income that will last your entire life is the most important thing you'll ever do. Take control of your future. Call now for your free analysis, comparison, and video.
Well, welcome back to the Business Insurance Zone. I'm Steve Savant with Jessica Lopez. And remember, you can order today's materials, and we have a ton on social media. Just go out to our website at thebiz.tv. And while you're out there, click on the Backroom Technician icon for your free 30-day trial offer so you can access the best needs analysis and client education materials that address almost every financial planning scenario. And I have to say, I've been using Backroom Technician for 22 of my 30 years. If you see our edutainment, all those giveaways, and a lot of that material is all Backroom Technician. A lot of people see some of our show giveaways on the Business Insurance Zone, same thing. It is for, I think they're charging $50 a month. I mean, it is to die for. It'll pay, one case will pay for this. And your compliance officers, remember, I think there's about almost 100 BDs that have signed off on this so that you can use this kind of communication with your client already approved. I mean, I love stuff like that. Hey, and remember, if you do have to talk about it, we're not talking about anything tax today, but if we did, you always check in with your tax advisor and legal counsel before moving forward. And of course, if you're a broker-dealer, and I'll be giving an announcement on some of our broker-dealer arrangements that actually let us do media. How about that? There's a new coming idea, kind of throw a little bit in there. But today, we're still in the middle of talking about our social media networking. Now, Jessica, you've been around a long time. You've seen this kind of come and go. So talk a little bit about, the early days here on this.
Yeah, the changes that we've made are just huge. They're drastic. And in fact, right now we're recording in 1080p, HD8p. Sorry.
Yeah, that's okay. It's hard to say. But when you think about it, HD 1080p, and it's high definition. And what are we doing with this? It's actually agreeing with, again, as I said, television, radio, as well as our online distribution. I can't even imagine holding the camera, or now even going, when we go back to our archives and look at those early days of web camera, it's just astonishing. But think about this. Google Analytics is really huge in video. And remember, they're tracking video now, so I know male, female audience, where they are in the country. Forget that, where they're coming from in the world, and our largest country outside the United States, oddly enough, is not English speaking, it's Germany. Shock.
Wow.
I don't know why.
I did not know that.
But Deutschland über alles. But we're looking at page views. This is the kind of the golden, holy grail of online marketing. How many eyeballs, how many page views are you getting? And so we look at page views with video.
Right. I mean, and we're not doing this all for nothing. Yes, we can make videos. We can have a great green screen behind us, and put any background we want and so forth. But it's a matter of who's watching. Are they enjoying it? Are they finding it useful? And it's really tracking all of that data. So when you're looking at page views, that's obviously something that we want to look at, because 1 week might be, it's okay, it was all right. But like you mentioned in the other show, when you did the history deal on the history of life insurance, people were interested in that.
Wow, and I was surprised on that. And here, this gives you, we're able to look at this, and we've changed the format of the show 4 times in 2.5 years. Why? Based on Google Analytics telling us it's too long, the topic wasn't that hot. We can tell by how many plays. Plays are great. Almost all people hit the number, they'll click on the play, but are they going to actually watch it? So I'm looking at the length of time they stay on the video.
Right, and we've actually surveyed our viewers to find out how much they want to watch. When do they start losing interest? And it can be the best content, the best show in the world, but fact of the matter is a majority of individuals really start tuning out at about 15 minutes.
I really want to concentrate always on trying to bring to the show, the Business Insurance Zone, all the things that matter to our producers. But when I want to bring it to the consumer using oneforthemoney.tv, which is again we're offering to our producers with our package tweets and blogs, that is, I read Google page 1 and 2 on any topic I'm talking about, and I take the acronyms out of my mouth, because you know how industrial we are, and I take all the way we talk in our industry, and I start to learn how to speak consumer ease. That content has to be an easy, digestible format, and I go out and read, before we do a One for the Money show, I look at how the public talks about it so that I have an idea how to frame the show. That's why it's very important to understand how the internet works, and one of the biggest one is the landing page language of Google.
Exactly, absolutely, because you need to make sure that you're going to attract the viewers that you're wanting to attract. And number one, you want to make it easy. You want to make it easy for people to find you and see your message, and that's the key. That's absolutely the key.
No, and remember, sometimes we do things that are calendaring, like we did the March Madness tribute to all the product issues, and in the fall we'll do it again. We're doing our Halloween special, Tales from the Crypt, we might call it something else in the fall, all on impaired risk and underwriting. Those shows always show so huge because we're a little more animated. We do a little more cool. I mean, let's think about this. We're using a green screen for March Madness, and what's our backdrop? The Georgia Dome, place where they had the Final Four. So we're just trying to be creative. We're trying to do things that'll catch the eye. And when you think about video, video is eye-catching. Now, I've noticed that we have things called speed drawing video that we're releasing here in about 2 weeks.
Right.
It's all consumer. We're building out our video vignettes, which are about 2.5 minutes max, on issues like what is term insurance, what is disability, what is an annuity, what is an income rider. Basic, easy Mondo pad with Blitzer kind of drawing, so that you can see it. So we're always looking at that. And why? Because there's certain attention spans. If you write short tweets, a little bit bigger blogs, a little bit bigger articles, a little bit bigger white papers, we do the same thing in video. It's a quick 30-second commercial. It's a quick 2.5 minute vignette. It's a 5-minute piece. It's a show. It's a blog. You're doing the same thing, and why? And how do I know if we're doing well? I look at those downloads. I look at embedded forwarded emails. Oh my goodness. When you see your show downloaded and it's being forwarded to somebody else, that is nirvana when it comes to networking. I mean, that is what you want to see. And what does that do to your Google rankings? You're on the first page, baby. Well, that's our show for today. Remember, you can follow me on all the social networks, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, Google Plus included, and see me at write me at steve@thebiz.tv. Well, that's the Buzz on the Biz for today. You've been in the zone, the Business Insurance Zone.
You're listening to the insurance industry's #1 resource for products, planning ideas, carrier information, and interviews you can use. When it comes to life insurance, annuities, long-term care, disability, or group pension plans, we're the news you can use.